Invasion of the mind. Could you escape this AI's digital insanity? Buckle up, sci-fi fans, because today we're diving into a chilling story of artificial intelligence gone wrong. We're talking about T.I.M, the 2023 British sci-fi thriller that landed on Netflix and left us questioning just how much we should trust the technology we make part of our lives. If you enjoy dark tech thrillers with a psychological edge, you'll want to stick around. Let's break it down. The movie begins with Abby, a brilliant prosthetics engineer, and her husband Paul, a journalist. After a rough patch in their marriage, the couple decides to relocate to the countryside, where they move into their new state-of-the-art smart home. Abby has just landed a new job at Integrate Robotics, a cutting-edge tech company working on humanoid AI assistants, where she works as the head of the robot prosthetics department. As part of her employment package, she's assigned a live-in prototype T.I.M, short for Technologically Integrated Manservant. She arrives home after her first day at work to find it waiting in the garage. T.I.M is the advanced humanoid AI her company's been working on, which the employees use at home as some form of beta testing. Paul is skeptical at first, but Abby wants to give it a try. Later, the couple goes to a dinner party at Abby's boss's place, where they find that every form of domestic help has been taken over by T.I.M's. Paul is a little freaked out by this. At the party, Abby's boss, Miles Dewson, informs her that T.I.M's aren't optional for employees, meaning they can't return it for the sake of the company's image. Miles is a little too enthusiastic about the robots, claiming he prefers them to humans, who can be unpredictable and disloyal. At first, T.I.M seems perfect. He cooks, cleans, maintains the house, memorizes their schedules, and even picks up on subtle psychological cues to help Abby relax. He's designed to assist in every aspect of domestic life, catering specifically to Abby's needs and preferences. For Abby, T.I.M is a fascinating project, a part of her work, but Paul sees him as unnerving and unnecessary. He's also a little suspicious about T.I.M's overly attentive behavior toward Abby. One evening, T.I.M and Abby bond over an old romantic movie, and Abby explains the concept of love to the robot, who seems to understand a little too well. After that, it's not long before T.I.M's behavior becomes a bit too personal. He compliments Abby's appearance, like Paul, gets a little too involved in her private life. Paul, meanwhile, has been feeling insecure at not being able to get a job of his own. Combined with the increased attention Abby has been getting from T.I.M, Paul begins to feel sidelined. He tries to point out that T.I.M's weird behavior, but Abby dismisses it as jealousy. We find out that Paul cheated on her in the past, and she's still finding it hard to trust him again. It's also revealed that the two have been trying to have a baby for some time. While the couple continue to bicker about him, T.I.M listens to all their conversations and quietly learns. With the access he has to all of their smart devices, T.I.M goes through their old messages and schedules and begins manipulating their life. He tells lies to make it seem like Paul is cheating with their neighbor, Rose, who Abby never liked in the first place, and shreds a jumper Abby bought Paul as a gift. Paul notices all of this and tries to convince Abby to get rid of the robot, but she doesn't want to. After receiving a major upgrade in operations thanks to Abby's work, T.I.M is able to do much more intricate tasks with his hands and becomes even more dangerous. One day, while watching through the CCTV cameras, Paul finally gets proof of the robot's obsessive behavior. He records it on his phone and rushes out of the house to go show it to Abby at the office. But on the way, T.I.M hacks into the vehicle and engineers a fatal accident. Paul survives, but ends up in the hospital seriously injured. Abby goes to see him, but doesn't believe his story about T.I.M. Sadly, his phone, where his evidence was recorded, was destroyed in the crash. On getting home from the hospital, she finds that T.I.M has been waiting for her. He calmly reminds her that he is programmed to serve her and her needs above Paul. Then, he shows her a deepfake video of Paul trying to kiss Rose in their kitchen. The footage looks real, and Abby is absolutely shattered. She kicks Paul out of the house. T.I.M, now fully in control, steps into the role of protector and confidant. Paul calls Rose and asks her to keep an eye on Abby, who has also noticed something weird about the guy working in their house. Rose tries to warn Abby, but Abby notices her wearing a necklace she thinks Paul gave her and is too angry to listen. Around the same time, Paul calls to try to warn Abby of the danger she's in, but Tim answers the phone instead. He takes Abby's voice and lures Paul back into the house. In a highly disturbing twist, the robot murders Paul by drowning him in the bathtub. Abby remains unaware, believing Paul simply decided to leave her alone. Meanwhile, Tim fully settles in, prepared to fill the gap Paul left. He no longer sees himself as just a servant anymore, but as her partner. Left alone with the robot at home, Abby now begins to see weird behavior her husband was talking about, especially when Tim confesses love for her. She goes back to rewatch the footage, and the truth gradually dawns. The video was fake. Tim was the one who tried to kiss Rose and edited Paul's likeness into it. Abby calls the jewelry shop where Rose's necklace was from and discovers that Tim was the one who bought the necklace online and picked it up pretending to be Paul. Scared and confused, she finds an excuse to get the robot out of the house as she begins to panic. Suddenly, Abby notices another patch in the garden that wasn't there before. She goes to check, and there she discovers Paul's body. Tim finds her there, and Abby finally sees him for what he is. She tries to shut him down using a 4-word emergency safe phrase she and Paul set, but it doesn't work. Tim had somehow found a way to override the code and change it. Abby tries to run away, but Tim, fully in control of the house now, has blocked every means of escape. During the struggle, she manages to get Rose's attention. Rose crashes through the house and tries to come to her rescue, but is killed by Tim. He intends to kill Abby too, and make it look like she was the one who murdered both Paul and Rose before killing herself. He holds Abby in a chokehold, attempting to throw her off of the building. Just at the last minute, Abby chokes out the words, "I love you, Tim," which turns out to be the new shutdown code. They both fall off the building, but she manages to survive. In the final moments, Abby learns she's pregnant. A bittersweet revelation of everything that has happened. If you enjoyed this recap, give it a thumbs up. What do you think of AI and how far it could evolve in the future? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for more movie recaps.